Hello, welcome to today's BTP 101 workshop session. My name is Matthew Wiggum. I'm a BTP technical architect for Mindset Consulting. We are very excited to go over the basics of BTP, especially covering the what, the why, and the how. Today's agenda, we're going to cover what BTP is. We're going to talk about how us at Mindset use BTP. Various ways yourself as an organization can govern BTP and what you can do with BTP and how it's going to benefit your organization. So first off, BTP stands for Business Technology Platform. It is SAP's integrated offering comprised of 5 technology portfolios that covers a wide range of areas, including application development, automation integration, data and analytics, and artificial intelligence. What's really nice about BTP, it allows you in a digital core agnostic way, really turn your data into business value. And what's really, really nice is SAP provides you with a platform as a service model that allows you to turn on and off services in order to meet your business needs. So if you have a specific need around, maybe you need a portal for a website, for example, you can turn on SAP Build Work Zone. If you need to integrate any APIs from your various data sources, you can turn on Integration Suite. But whatever your needs are, the business technology platform provided by SAP is really going to help you deliver and solve those needs. Now, how Mindset uses BTP, what's really tangible about BTP, because a lot of people get stuck and they only want to show you BTP on a PowerPoint. They only want to show you BTP maybe with slides or with presentation material. But how does Mindset use BTP real tangibly? Is here at Mindset, we have an area called Mindset Labs, and it's a research and development area of Mindset that we perform. And we perform, whether it be AI Launchpad and AI Core, these are services provided inside BTP by SAP. We also cover SAP Build Apps. Build Apps is a low-code, no-code application build area that lets you quickly stand up applications for either demos or productive use. All of the work zones are also used by Mindset. We use Work Zone Advanced Edition internally for a lot of our internal technology knowledge areas. We also use a work zone approach when we build our employee portals and our employee certification portals as well. We also work in SAP Build Process Automation. We have several IRPA and BPA catalogs that are ready to be installed that are provided by Mindset. These are available in SAP's catalog, but we also have and use other automations from SAP's extensive catalog within Build Process Automation. We also cover and test out different automation techniques across the various lines of business. And what's the newest thing at Mindset Labs today is inside BTP, we are using DataSphere. We're currently learning and gating that competency and the skills of DataSphere within our own tenant. So it's really important today with the new emergence of DataSphere. So as an organization, governance in BTP is incredibly important. BTP is as I said earlier, is a platform. And what's very important about being a platform is understanding that in order to consume the services on this platform, you have to subscribe and connect to these services that are provided by SAP. Most of the services are offered free of charge by SAP. However, some services are not free of charge and they cost money. SAP doesn't bill you separately based on what other hyperscaler you may use or what cloud provider agreement you may have. They bill you in one fee based on the usage and the credits that you're able to use against your BTP, specific BTP license. But in order for an organization to be successful and make sure that they only spend the money they absolutely have to, governance is very, very important. SAB provides a very robust best practices guide. Inside this, I've attached the link, so you'll have the link available if you're watching this video. But this best practices is what SAP considers the baseline, what they think should be the core requirement of governance within BTP. Within BTP as an organization, you should have at minimum 2 teams. The first team is a platform team. Second team is a cloud architecture team. Your platform team are going to be your traditional basis responsibilities. They're going to take care of your security, your connections, any of your API type things that are needed in order to successfully deliver the content and have the access available to the people that need to use specific services in BTP. The second team is the cloud architecture team. They're traditionally a technical team. They have developers, architects, maybe you have some functional analysts, some solution architects, even principal consultants, your people that are delivering content and having to set up and customize and even down the road make it readily available for business users to use the services on BTP. That's going to be your cloud architecture team. So there's 2 clear teams, and you can have a third team. You can kind of fine tune it and separate those teams out based on roles and responsibilities, but those are really the 2 teams that are needed and like at a minimum. So when you're talking about governance in BTP, the very first step is to build those teams. Once you build those teams, you know who's going to be responsible for certain areas in BTP. You're able to set up that account, get your security model, and really create that enrollment process. So if you have needs with whether it be an application or a service or whatever it may be, you have documentation and documented steps that are ready to go for you to really, get a good plan in place for you to move forward. The next step is to start developing and building. And you mostly on BTP, you're going to use SAP UI5 based front end languages. You're not really going to be looking at others. However, BTP can handle pretty much any front end language. But the most important thing with develop and build is to really find out which programming language is best, or it doesn't have to be one. It could be 2, 3, it could be multitude. But figure out how you want to develop that. How do you want to actually develop projects within BTP? Here at Mindset, we typically build multi-target applications within Business Application Studio. We also use VS Code using this CLI plugins because we do a lot of command line interface things as well. We're very flexible. We have a develop and build process we have several different processes, but they're all documented. We follow specific actions. Our cloud architecture team follows specific actions that are required in order for us to have successful builds. The third thing is to deploy and deliver. And once you finish putting together that process to build, you really have to figure out, okay, I've built this application, I've done my unit testing, but I need to actually get it in front of business users, get it to a place where it's going to do its actual function within a production landscape. And this could be an application, this could be a service, this could be a tool, this really could be anything. But have a process documented, ready to go, to be able to deploy and deliver those simple process, simple steps of whatever you're trying to deploy in order to be able to make changes quickly and efficiently. Once you have that process in place, you can go live and you can start rolling that out to a wider audience, maybe to the entire production landscape. You can really say, all right, we have this function. This is how you access it. It's ready to go. Use it for this specific process. Let us know if you have any problems. And you want to monitor that, make sure that there's no bugs or make sure there's no issues with that specific service or that specific application. And then once that's in place, then you can start looking at improving and even retiring, because when you consider moving to BTP, modernizing your business processes, some processes may need to be retired. You may realize there's some things that I don't need. So some housekeeping is going to have to take place. Once you go live and you realize, hey, this process works, we're really happy with it, maybe there's things that you can retire, you can turn off because you don't need them anymore. Maybe there's some middleware that your company has that's costing you a lot of money. You won't need it anymore if you have BTP. So you can make those assessments here. And what's really nice about this process, this governance process, is once you're done with a specific service or this specific step, you're just going to go kind of back up to the top. You're never done improving these processes or really working on these services. You're just going to go back up to set up and plan, develop and build, deploy and delivery, go live and monitor and improve and retire. It's just a circle. And you're just keep going to go through this process in order to effectively and efficiently deploy and consume services within BTP. At Mindset, we have a very comprehensive platform, but it's very well documented, and we share this documentation and help companies put BTP together in a really clean and concise way in order to effectively manage your BTP global account. And I've added some steps here to break down basic first step processes that I kind of already covered in the previous slide, but what we think at Mindset are very, very important to an organization as a whole. So I had already mentioned defining your team setups, your platform and your cloud architecture team, create those onboarding processes. We need to make sure that if a developer comes in and has to build a specific application, they know exactly how to do it, what build processes you already have in place. You also want a knowledge transfer process ready to go. If you have another team coming in that has to do work on an application, there has to be some sort of a knowledge transfer that takes place, where the repository is, what branch am I working in, what user story do I need to use? Like, there's specific things that have to be transferred. You also want to define those support processes, your documentation, any tools that you use in order to support any of the actions that you do on BTP. You also want to let people know what type of resources and activities are required if you ever have to implement changes. What if you want to add a service to BTP? Who do I need to contact? If I want to turn on Integration Suite, who do I contact? I don't know how to set up my access. I don't have a password to something. Who do I access? Who do I talk to get that access? And that kind of goes hand in hand with clarifying those help desk processes. Here at Mindset, we use a bot that people can ask and get feedback on in order to get access to certain things. The bot communicates with the people that are in charge of certain areas in order for that person to get access. It's very clean and efficient, but that's how we do it at Mindset. Now, what's really important about BTP and how we at Mindset feel about BTP is we want to show you BTP. We don't want to just talk about BTP on a slide and as a slide. We want to show you real things. So as part of our focus areas, there's 6 really core areas that we focus on. And today I want to show you some of these areas here at Mindset. So we focus on SAP Integration Suite, the entire build portfolio, which includes Build Workzone, SAP Datasphere and SAP Analytics Cloud, Clean Core and Extensibility, and we also have a specific custom code analysis that we can do using our own BTP ABAP environment. But today, I want to show you some of these things. So when you're talking about BTP as a whole, about what BTP is, you really consider BTP as a platform as a service. And what we're looking at now is a global account. Everybody is going to have a global account. You may even have two global accounts. We only recommend one global account. You can put everything you need underneath that one singular global account. As far as your global account goes, it's also very important to understand the feature set of that global account that you're going to be under. If I go to help in the upper right, or not help, I apologize. We can close help. We can go to about. We can look that we use feature set B as part of our cloud management tools. 99% of the customers under SAP's umbrella use feature set B. But some of you, if you signed up for a trial account, maybe under feature set A, that's fine. However, just understand none of your feature set A content can be transferred over to feature set B. Feature set B is SAP's production level BTP account. So here at Mindset, you can see all of our sub accounts underneath our global account. And you can organize these in a series of ways. First way is to do directories. You can put things in folders, organize them in a specific way to where it makes sense for you as an organization, or you can just create individual sub accounts. Here at Mindset, we just create individual sub accounts. We have a development sub account and accelerators. Accelerators is our demo live material. I wouldn't necessarily call it a production sub account. It's mostly a lot of our content comes out of accelerators. It's ready to be moved to production, ready to be installed. We do a little bit of testing, a lot of integration type things here. Then we have a production level sub account. This is where if things have to be live anywhere that can't ever be changed, we have that stuff goes into our Mindset production sub account. So I'll take us into our accelerator sub account. When you look at a sub account, under overview, you'll have all of your necessary information, everything that's needed, and as well as the most important thing about sub accounts, your entitlements. And you can see all the things that are entitled to the sub account. Now, let's say if you're a developer and you want to use Business Application Studio, for example, you can go to your development sub account and you can say, well, I have SAP. I'm looking for Business Application Studio, which is right here. And you're like, well, okay, this is nice. We have entitlement to it, but what does this tell me? How do I access it? So in order to access a service like Business Application Studio, you go to your services tab, and you can go to either your service marketplace if you want to turn it on, or you go to your instances and subscriptions if it's already turned on. And in our case, we already use it, so it's already on. So we can go to instances and subscriptions. You can see it right here. This button here will navigate you to the application itself. The specific things that you're already subscribed to are here under your subscriptions or under instances. Anything that you connect to your BTP account, either your applications, HANA schemas, Maybe you have services, maybe you have deployment configs, whatever it may be, it goes here under instances, and you can see it all here, and everything's available. And you can create service keys to these, and you can access them there too. And if you're confused about, well, maybe I'm not really sure, like how much space is this taking up? How much money am I spending? You can go to usage analytics and really see everything that's underneath your sub account. You can see it in one place. It's clean, see all your memory, your usage, how much, and you can plan. You can plan kind of your governance in this way, where you can say how much, you know, how much usage am I doing for these months here, or maybe in the future? How much do I think I'm going to be spending, for example? Now, as far as a service, we're going to look at a SAP build work zone example. We're going to go to SAP build work zone standard edition. For those of you that don't know, SAP build work zone replaces the Fiori launchpad. And we're going to use our IAS. So we use a separate identity provider here at Mindset. We kind of use our own. You just use our Mindset login. And we're going to log into the standard edition. Now, looks a lot similar to the Fiori launchpad. And it is connected to our S4H environment, which has its content updated. It's connected to our other S4H system that we have, and then is also connected to our internal sub account as well. So if we want to, but I want to go to our specific website for our S4 system. We have an S4H cloud system that we use here at Mindset. And I want to go to that site. So I only have purchasing, inventory, and sourcing on my user ID, and that is what I see here. These are live applications that are connected to SAP. They're not hosted in WorkZone. These are hosted in S4. So if we wanted to go to, manage purchase orders, for example, first time load, it's going to ask SAP for information, but it's going to load the app. You can also say, well, maybe I want to do mass change, for example, another specific S4 app, and do it here. This is all done in WorkZone. This is done inside BTP, but we're connecting to all of the data that's in S4, not inside BTP. And on top of that, we can also connect data from other sources, on top of the S4H data. So on one screen, you can pull in data like what we have here from several different sources. And if you have several different SAP systems, every tile is going to tell you which SAP system it's getting it from. Like these tiles are coming from S4H, but if we had another S4H system, it would show that as well. So it just depends on how you set it up, how you're set up as an organization. So we have things that are ready to go that are content that is very visual and very easy to connect into one place. So that's SAP Build Work Zone. It's one of the most important areas. It's also rather, I wouldn't say simple to set up, but it's simple to maintain. And once you get it set up and once you decide to use WorkZone, the return, the value is very, very high to an organization. So that was BTP. It's a very robust platform that is very capable of providing really good business context of the data that you want to put into it based on the 95 services that are available. And the services change, and they, if you go to SAP Discovery Center, you're going to you can learn about all the different services as well. But as a platform as a service, SAP provides a very, very, it's a very robust offering. It's very stable, and it's going to give you a lot of return on your investment. So here at Mindset, we can definitely help you realize that return and help you come up with the best approaches and the best business practices for using BTP. So again, my name is Matthew Wiggum, and thank you for listening to today's BTP one-on-one workshop, and hope to see you around. Thank you.